Good afternoon to my Hebrew warriors. This is Dr. Marshall, and I am going to take a little bit of time today to just go over some of the homework for Lesson 2, and hopefully this will help you as you're reviewing your homework or maybe getting it done for the first time and struggling with it, just to have somebody walking through some of these exercises with you. So let's see how this helps, and if it does, maybe we'll do some more of these type of homework videos here and there throughout the semester. What we have is Ross Lesson 2, and the homework for Section A is to take these Hebrew words. I believe that just about all of these are names, and we're going to transliterate them into English. So this won't be very hard, I don't think, except that you have some vowels that you've learned that are part of your vowel chart. And so I will be making reference to the vowel chart right here and flipping back and forth between the homework exercise and the vowel chart. So let's start with number 1. What I'm going to do is I'll use the red ink here to do the transliteration here. So with number 1, we're starting with the word bavel here. We have a bet, which in our English transliteration is a B. Notice that bet is a begad kafat letter, so I have to think about whether there's a dot inside of it or not. This dagesh lene is present, so that means I do not put a line under the bet. And then I have what is a little T symbol, and you should assume for now that anytime you see this little T symbol, it's a kametz instead of a kametz ketuf. So over here, my possibilities are either the kametz here or the kametz ketuf over here under the short. The kametz is a long A. So that's what we will do for our exercise. It is a long A. That is an A with a line over it. So we'll go ahead and add the A, put the line over it there. Now we have another bet. And notice this is the same bet as the bet before, except it has no dot in Hebrew. And minus dot in Hebrew means plus line in English. Then I have what is called a segol, which is an E vowel. Question is it a long or a short E? Well, we can look here and see that my segol is right there. Okay, and it is a short E, and that means there's no line above the E. So we don't need to add anything to this E, and then the last letter is a lamed. So we have bavel over here, starting at the top, ba, reading down, bet, kamet, ba, V sound, el, bavel. Next we have a lambda, excuse me, that's Greek, a lamed. So that is an L. And then we have a kametz, which is an A, and this kametz is a long vowel, so I have to put the macron. It's a tone long vowel. The macron goes over the A. The bet is next. That's a B. Notice the bet here is missing the dagesh, so it's minus line, minus dot means plus line. I have another kametz here, the T looking symbol. So an A with a line over it for the long A, the kametz, and then the nun is there. It's a final nun. So in Hebrew, of course, it has to be the final form, but in English I don't have a final form of the nun. I'm just going to put an N there. So I have la van. So back over here, reading lamed above la, and then the bet with its kametz. La van, nun at the end, lavan. So back to the beginning. Bavel, lavan. Next I have a resh, which is an R in English, and then the kamet symbol, which is an A that's long. So I need the A symbol plus the line over the A for making it long, tone long. Now I have a chet. Remember, that's not a hey, it's a chet, and it's an H with a dot under it to represent the guttural sound. Rach. And then now my vowel here is sere. Now my sere vowel is right over here. That is a tone long E, so it's going to be an E with a line over it. Tone long E. And that has the sound A. Rache. Rache. And then a lamed at the end. So we have Rachel. Rachel. Alright. Now, I'm just going to, in order to preserve my space, come back up and I'm going to write some more up above the line here. I have next an ayin. Remember, the aleph and the ayin look very similar. The aleph is this one. The ayin is in the opposite direction in transliteration. The aleph looks like an apostrophe. The ayin looks like a backwards apostrophe. So I have an ayin here. So we're going to do the backwards apostrophe. And remember, this is a consonant, and the vowel is the sere, which we just saw a second ago is an tone long E. So it's an E with a line over it. Now I have seen, which is represented by an S. It has the diacritic mark over it. Looks like an accent mark, but accent marks go over the vowels. This is not an accent mark, but it is marking the S as a samic. Then I have a kametz under the seen. Remember, kametz is an A that's long. I need to put that line over it. Tone long A, kametz. And then I have a vav at the end. So A, sav. You don't really hear the ayin pronounced, but if we were to pronounce it, it would be a very strong guttural in the throat. Aye, aye, sav. The next word starts with a mem, so that is an M in English. And then what I have is a holam vav. That is a vowel called holam vav. It is a historically long vowel. What is the holam vav going to look like? It's way over here. Holam vav is an O with, as I like to describe in class, the pointy party hat. These historically long vowels have been around a long time. They've had a lot of birthdays, and they get to wear their pointy party hats all the time. So this is an O. Put the pointy party hat over it. That's a historically long holam vav. Then I have an aleph. A kametz, which is the tone long A, so it'll have the line over it, and then the bet at the end. Notice the bet at the end is the begad kafat letter, but there's no dot. No dot means minus dot means plus line. Have to put the line into the bet to give it that v sound. So we're going to pronounce the mem in the holam vav as mo, mo, and then av, moav. And you guessed that it is the word Moab. The next word is a lamed. Starts with a lamed, which is an L. Put that L there. And then we have a sere, which is the tone long E. Again, back to our vowels. There it is, right? Tone long E and E with a line. So le, put that line there. And then I have a vav back over here, okay? And a kirik yod. So use the W for the vav, and then the kirik yod is a historically long vowel. Kirik yod is this middle one right here. Kirik and the yod together is an I with the pointy party hat. So we want to make sure we put the I here. Don't dot it, just put the party hat over it. Levi. Levi. This is Levi. Levi. Next I have an aleph. And then a comet symbol under it. So after the aleph, I need to put an A with the line for a long A, historically, excuse me, a tone long A. Now I have a dalet next. That's a D. Notice that the dalet is a begad kafat letter, and there's no dot. No dot in Hebrew means plus line in English. The holam vav comes after the dalet. Holam vav is a historically long O with the pointy party hat, and then the noon at the end right here is an N. Adon. Like over here, Adon. 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 The next word starts with a beit. So I'm going up to the top. B. Beit is a begad kafat letter. The presence of the dot makes it a hard B sound. If I have plus dot in Hebrew, it's minus line in English, so I don't put anything here under the bet. Then I have a short A that is called a pathak. There it is, the first one under the tone short vowels. It's an A with no symbol, just a short A. So ba, there's my ba. Now I have an ayin. Remember, the ayin's the opposite of the aleph. It's the backward apostrophe, followed by another pathak. Two pathaks here, side by side. Ba, ah, and then a lamed. Now my accent mark is there, over the bet whose vowel the pathak is stressed. So over here, I am going to put an accent mark over the aleph, the A, excuse me, not the aleph, but the A in Baal. Baal. And this is the name of the Canaanite deity, Baal. 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 Or some people pronounce his name Baal. Okay, we have the next word, which is a word beginning with a sheen. Sheen, remember, is the S with what looks like a little V symbol. Sere, which is a long E, and if it's a tone long E, it has the line over it. And then the mem, which is a final mem in Hebrew, but in English we don't write final M's in English. We don't write the word final in front of it because we assume that if the M is in the final position in Hebrew, it would have had a final mem. Shame. Shame. And the last word begins with a chet, which is a hey with a dot under it. Chet. A kametz over here. The kametz is a long A. I'm going to put the line over that. And then a final mem. An M. Cham. Cham. Shame and cham. There you go. All right. So those are the ones from number 1. Let me walk you through some of the ones from number 2 here, and we'll go ahead and delete these. Take a good look. And goodbye. Now, then we have room for number 2. We'll go ahead and use this space right here. Okay, so we have yo for the first word. We have a Y for a yod. Holam vav, which is an O with a pointy party hat. Remember, this is our historically long vowel right here. Okay, that's it. The holam vav, O with the party hat. Then I have samek. How do I transliterate a samek? Just with an S. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Sere, we've seen that. An E with a line over it. It's a tone long E. Makes the A sound. yo, yo, say. And then this final letter is a pe, which is written with a P in English. Notice that pe is a beget kefet letter, so I have to ask myself, is there a dot inside? The answer is no. Minus dot means plus line in our English transliteration. Yo, safe. Yo, safe. Next I have a yod, and under the yod is a segol. What vowel class is segol? It's E, and it's the short E. Over here makes the eh sound, so it's an E with nothing else. So we're going to put the E here, no line over it. The pe is a P in English. There is no dot. That means I have to put plus line, right? Minus dot in Hebrew, plus line in English. Another segol. And then a tav is the final consonant. Is tav a beget kefet letter? The answer is yes. It is a beget kefet letter, and it's missing the dot. Minus dot, plus line. And then the last thing I have to take account of is the fact that there's an accent mark over the yod, whose segol is being stressed. That means that I'm going to put the accent mark over the first segol, the first E, in this word yefet. 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 The next word is Moshe. That dot is doing double duty, and it's as if what you had was one mem with a holum followed by a shin with the dot at the right of the shin plus our hey with a segol hey. Hebrew has an aversion to writing the same symbol 2 times in a row, and frequently will just write it once and figure out a way to have this do double duty. And so that's what happens here. This is a single dot that is both a holum and a sheen dot for the right side of the sheen. So to transliterate this, we're going to do our M for the mem. We have a holum, which is an O, and it has the line over it. If you go back over here, there's our holum right here, and it's an O with the line over it. So that's mo, and then we have the sheen, which is the S with that symbol. And then what I have is a segol hey. Segol hey is a historically long vowel using the hey as a mater. So this hey is not truly a consonant. I have a problem though, and that is that I do have to represent it in my transliteration for the simple fact that if I were to write this, if I were to write the E with the pointy party hat to let that party hat represent the mater hey, which is usually what those symbols do, then if you were to come along and to retrovert this back into Hebrew, what would you do? You would say mem, holum, sheen, and then you take this E with the party hat over it, and you would go, that's a Sarah yod, right? Because that's how we've transliterated the Sarah yod, the E with the party hat over it. Well, that would be wrong, wouldn't it? Because what we have over here is not Moshe spelled with the Sarah yod, but Moshe spelled with a segol hey. So, anytime we have a mater hey, unless it's a comet hey, the comet hey, that is going to be spelled with the A and the party hat to represent the mater hey. Any other mater hey with any other vowel point, like segol hey, sere hey, holum hey, the hey is going to be written and the vowel will be written with the shortness or the length of it, and you will still treat the segohe here as a single vowel. It will not be considered a closed syllable because that hey is not a genuine consonant. It's just that we can't write the hey with the party hat instead of the hey because there's already a vowel that uses that party hat for a different historically long vowel. All right. There is a footnote to this in your Ross textbook, just a few pages before the homework. All right, now let's take a look at this next name. This will be a name that you recognize, I think, from maybe some of your Bible reading. The first letter is a sheen, which is an S, that symbol. And then I have a kametz right here. That is a tone long A with the line over it. The aleph comes next. Remember, the aleph is raised up a little bit higher than the consonant in English. Then right here is a new historically long vowel we haven't seen in our exercise yet. What is that called? Over here on the bottom right hand side, this is a shurik. Shurik. And it is a U with the party hat over it. And this is the sound ooh. So we're going to put the U with the party hat over it. That stands for the point with its mater. And then a lamed for the final consonant. This is sha ul. Sha. Over here in Hebrew, sha ul. The next name, that starts with a beit. There, it is a begad kafat letter. There's a dot, so I don't put a line under the English because plus dot means minus line. A holam. Holam is a tone long vowel. According to our vowel chart, it's an O with a line over it. Here it is, right? Under the tone long, third tone long, holam is an O with a line. And then we have an ayin. Remember, the ayin is the backwards aleph. It goes the other direction, opposite of the apostrophe. Then I have a pathak. Pathak is an A vowel, but it's short. Here it is, first one. It's a short A, pathak. Short A, no symbol above the A. And then the last thing I have here is a zayin. Not an ayin, but a zayin. That is a Z in English. So Boaz. Boaz. The next word is also a familiar one. If you've read the Hebrew Bible or the English Old Testament, resh. And that's an R followed by a shurik, which is a U, and it's party hat because shurik is a historically long U, right? There it is, historically long U. Ooh. So this is ru, ru, and then I've got one more consonant at the end here. Root. Ah. Is the tav, is that a begad kafat letter? Indeed it is. It has minus dot in the Hebrew. That means plus line, and I'm going to pronounce this as not root, but Ruth. Ruth. And that is the woman that Boaz marries. We have the next one, P, followed by a sigil, which is an E, followed by a resh, which is an R. There's another sigil. And then the tzadi, remember, is an S and a dot under it. Now the pei of peretz has a dot. It is a dagesh. This is a begad kafat letter. Plus dot means minus line. I don't need to put a line under the pei. Notice that there is also an accent mark here over the pei and its sigil. So we need to put an accent there. This is peretz. Parrots. Parrots. The next word is resh. It's an R. A shurik, which is a historically long U. And then notice that we have a het with a pathak that has slidden over to the right just a hair. That tells us that this is a furtive pathak. So the het is going to have this little a vowel sneak in right before it. The real vowel of this word is the shurik. This a vowel is not a genuine true blue vowel. It is just a little helping vowel to get you from the long vowel called shurik to the guttural produced in the back of the throat, which is where A-class vowels happen to be produced. When I come to a furtive pathak, I personally prefer to put the A in a superscripted form to indicate that it does not have the same status as the real vowel shurik here. This is supposed to be ru, but that A sneaks in. Ruach, ruach, ruach. And that is the word for spirit or breath or wind. The last two, we have an ayin, followed by a sere, which is an E, and a line over it because this is a tone long E, not an A, not a segol, but a sere. And then I have tsadi. It happens to be a final tsadi, but that doesn't matter for my English translation. This is pronounced eights, eights. And then lastly, I have not kaf, but kof. And then a holam vav. Holam vav is the O with the party hat over it, historically long O. Ko. And then I have the lamed here. So we'll put that lamed right after the O. And then a kirik yod, which is another historically long vowel. That is an I with the party hat. Kirik yod. Holam vav, kirik yod. Here they are. Our holam vav here, fourth one. Kirik yod is the third one. So this is pronounced ko, ko, and then li. Ko-li. Ko-li. Remember, we're always going to accent the final syllable unless we are told otherwise by the presence of an accent mark. Okay, let me just draw our attention to the first two and number 3. And we'll be done with the transliterations here for this part. This is a very famous name. It starts with a dalet, which is a D in English. There is a dot in this baguette kafat letter. Dalet is a baguette kafat letter. Plus dot means minus line, so I won't put a line there. Got a kamet symbol under that, so it's a long A. An A with a line over it. Da. Remember reading from top to bottom. Da, da. And now I have what looks like it could be a mater vav. And the question is this vav truly functioning as a consonant, or is it a vowel marking vav? Is it a mater vav? Well, if you look under the vav, notice that you have a kirik here. That kirik is a vowel. And one thing we know about vowels in Hebrew is that vowels have consonants before them, vowels can have consonants after them, but vowels do not take vowels under them. So this vav must be a real consonant vav and not a mater vav, and its vowel must be kirik. Now it might also be kirik yod, and that's the next question. Is this a kirik or a kirik yod? Well, we know that there is such a thing as a kirik yod, but how can we confirm that that's truly a kirik yod? And here's how we do it. If you remember that in Hebrew, every word in every Hebrew word, every consonant except for the last one is required to have a shava, which we haven't learned yet, or a vowel point underneath it or beside it as the vowel pointing that goes with the consonant. The dalet has a kametz, The vav has a kyric. The yod, if it's a true consonant, should have some vowel right here. But notice it doesn't have a vowel at all. So if it's a consonant, it's missing something that Hebrew requires it to have. And this tells us that it is not a consonant, that it is truly a vowel marking use of the yod. That is to say, it's a mater, and the vowel is actually not just kyric, but kyric and yod together. This is a kyric yod. And that's why we have put the party hat on here. All right, and then the dalet is the last thing, and that begad kafat letter, dalet, is without the dot. And so remember, minus dot, when it's a begad kafat letter, means plus line. So we're going to put our line there. So this is da, vid. And looking at it from this side, da, and then the vav is a real consonant, vid, David. The next word is another famous person, sort of famous, in the book of 1st and 2nd Kings. And his name actually has a conjunction in front of it that means and, but we'll get to that soon enough. It's the letter vav, so we'll put a W here. And then I have a kyric and a yod following the vav. The vav is truly a consonant taking a vowel under it. The yod, on the other hand, has no vowel under it. So this yod cannot be a real consonant because every Hebrew consonant, except for the last one, has to have some vowel pointing with it. So this is a vav with a kyric yod, followed by now a hey. Vav's vowel is kyric yod. I've got a hey. This hey will have a vowel following it. This vowel is holam vav. And then I have a sheen and its vowel, which is a kametz, long A with a line over it, followed by a pei with the kametz, which is a long A. Now remember, pei, out of all of these consonants, pei is the begad kafat letter. It's missing a dot. Minus dot means plus line in English. And then the final consonant is not a tav, but a tate. Tate is pronounced like a tav, and it's written almost like a tav in transliteration, except that it gets the dot under the T symbol. So this is Vihoshaphat. And if we were to go over here to the Hebrew and you practice reading what you're looking at, you've got V over here, V, Ho, Sha, Fat. We have 4 vowels, and therefore we have 4 syllables. Now let's take a look at section B here, and we'll spend a little time doing some transliterations from the English into Hebrew. Remember, we are not going to spend a ton of time doing transliterations, but I do think it's important for you to learn the system enough to be able to use those tools that we talked about, those Hebrew resources that were printed before publishers permitted very much Hebrew characters. So let's start with number 1. And remember, when we do our transliterations, we're doing Hebrew characters. We're going to start on the right and move to the left. So we have gamal. Gamal begins with a gimel. Notice that the G, the gimel, is a begad kafat letter. There is no line under it, so minus line means plus dot. This is indicating that the G was a stop. G, g, g. And now I have a kametz, an A with a line over it is a long A, which looks like a T symbol under the gimel. And I have a mem. Since this is not the final consonant, the mem goes like this, non-final mem. Another kametz, long A, and then a lamed. Start above the line and then move around. So there is gamal. Next I have yayin. The yod is the y is a yod. The a has no macron over it. It is a short a pathak. There is an accent here, so I'm going to put my accent over the yod, whose pathak has been stressed, ya. Then I have another yod, y is a yod, and then an I, and there's no macron over that, no party hat. This is a short, tone short kirik. And then I have an N, which is a noon. Now my N, or noon, is going to be the final consonant here, so I need to use the final noon here, and that means it needs to go below the line. So this is pronounced ya yin. Ya yin. There is a footnote here. This A over here is not a transliterated vowel. It's not a furtive pathak. It is actually a footnote telling you to look down and to be reminded about accent marks in Hebrew. Okay, so don't let that confuse you. All right, so next we have Bain, which is the letter Beit. Notice Beit is a begad kafat letter. There is no line. Minus line means plus dot. The E with the line over it is a tone long E called sere, and then the noon is final. So it needs to be the long, skinny noon. Bain, Bain, Bain is sun. Yayin is wine. Gamal is camel. Next I have Av. Av begins with an aleph right here. That thing that looks like an apostrophe. So we're going to put our aleph here. And then we have a kametz, a tone long A, an A with a macron, a straight line over it, and then a beit, a B. There is a line under the begad kafat B. So plus line in English means minus dot in Hebrew, so no dot there. So this is Av, father. And next I have Eli. Notice I also have an aleph here, so do our aleph. The E with the line over it is a tone long E called sere. Then I have a lamed, and then an I with a party hat. That's one vowel, but it is a historically long vowel, so it will have both a vowel point and a mater. In this case, it's called kirik yod. So kirik with its yod. Eli. Eli. The next word is and this is the backwards symbol from the aleph. This is called ayin. So ayin, and then an A vowel, which has no line, so this is a short A called pathak, and then an M, which is a mem in Hebrew, but this is a final consonant for this word, so I'm going to use the final form of mem. Next I have kumi. This is a kof, not a kaf, but a kof. Looks like that. This U with the party hat is the historically long shurik. And it's got the dot in it. Let me make that look a little better. Okay, and then a mem, and then a kirik yod. An I with the party hat is the historically long kirik yod. Alright, there you go. So kumi. Next I have the word eved. This is an ayin here. So we'll come back here to the next line. Ayin with an E and no macron over it, but there is an accent. So I'm going to put the accent mark over the in, whose goal is being stressed. Then a bet, a b. There is a line under it. That means there's no dot in the Hebrew bet. Another segol, and then a dalet. And that dalet is also begat kafat letter, but with a line, so no dot. So eved, eved, eved. It's the word for servant. And then davar. Dalet. Notice the dalet is a begat kafat letter. There is no line. That means plus dot. We have a long A, an A with a line over it. That's a a tone long A called kametz. Then we have a bet with a line under it, so that means do not put the dot in the bet. It's a begat kafat letter. Another kametz under that. That's a tone long A, and then followed by a resh. Davar, davar, davar. So those are your transliterations there. All right. Well, the last thing we should do is work on some of these syllable divisions. I asked you to divide your syllables on the section A consonants. So let's do that. And in order to do it, I'm going to clear some of the space here. So give me a Okay, I've made some space here. Let's take a look at the first line. So what I have here is I have we'll use a skinnier pen for these. So I have a bet and a kametz. Remember, our Hebrew vowels always have to have a consonant in front of them. For every syllable you have to have a vowel, and every vowel needs a lead consonant. So we will either have a consonant vowel or a consonant vowel consonant. Consonant vowels are open syllables, and consonant vowel consonant sequences are closed syllables. But no matter which one we're dealing with, at least we know that every time there's a vowel there has to be a lead consonant that opens up the syllable. So what I have is a bet, and it's got its vowel. Now this is where I want to draw my dividing line. But let's just assume for a moment that you were uninclined to do that, and you saw the bet following it, and you thought maybe that second bet is a closing consonant. Maybe I should draw my dividing line there. And then I would have bet, kametz, bet. Consonant, vowel, consonant. That might be okay, except for this problem. After the second bet, you have a vowel. That means that you would be starting your next syllable with a vowel followed by a consonant. And my question for you would be, is vowel consonant an allowable syllable structure in Hebrew? And the answer, of course, is no. Every Hebrew syllable has to have a vowel, but that vowel always has to have a consonant in front of it. So you can't have a vowel without a consonant making up part of its syllable. Okay? So this is why we would not be inclined at all to divide our syllable the way we have right here. So let me delete that, and let's put our division exactly where it needs to go. And that is right here. Okay, so now I have a consonant vowel, an open syllable, and I have a consonant vowel consonant. I have a closed syllable. Ba, veil. Ba, veil. The next word has a set of syllables that's exactly the same structure. I have a consonant lamed followed by its vowel, and then I have another vowel here, and it needs a lead consonant that's part of its syllable and not part of the last one. So I've got to divide right in between these. La, van. Consonant vowel for la is open. and then consonant, vowel, consonant for van is closed. Okay, so la, van, bet, kamet, nun, consonant, vowel, consonant, closed syllable. Rachel, the resh has its vowel, and the chet can't go with the resh and its vowel. It's got its own vowel under it, so it has to be starting its own syllable. Resh, kamet is consonant vowel, that's open. Chet, sere, lamed is consonant vowel consonant, so that's closed. Rachel, Rachel. Ayin has a vowel. Sin has its own kametz, so these consonants get their own vowels, they get their own syllables. A, and then sav. A is open, because I have only a consonant vowel, and then I have a consonant vowel, consonant, closed. Next I have mo, av. Mame is a consonant, holem vav is its vowel. Divide, so that the vowel kametz has its lead consonant starting the syllable with it, aleph, and the bet is the closing one. So that's closed. Mem and holem vav is open, right? Remember, holem vav is one vowel. Mem is my consonant, holem is my vowel, holem vav is my vowel, one vowel. So this syllable ends with a vowel that's open. Next I have levi. Lamed has a sere for its vowel. Divide. Vav is a true consonant, and its vowel is kirik yod. The whole thing kirik yod is a vowel. Okay? This yod is not a consonant. It's part of the kirik yod vowel. So lamed sere is consonant vowel. That's open. Vav is a consonant. Kirik yod is a vowel. So that's consonant vowel, that is open as well. Levi, Levi. They have aleph with its vowel, followed by a dalet with its vowel, holem vav, and also a closing nun. Closed on the end. Aleph, kametz, consonant vowels open on that side. So I have Baal, bet with the pathak, consonant vowel, it's open. Ayin, pathak, consonant vowel with a closing consonant lamed. So that's a closed syllable there. Shame only has one vowel, so it only has one syllable. Can I divide this? Absolutely not. I don't need to divide it because there's only one syllable anyway. But I do need to label it as open or closed. Sheen is the consonant, sere is its vowel, mame is a consonant, all part of the same syllable, so this is a closed syllable, consonant, vowel, consonant. And then ham is the same thing, consonant chet, vowel kamet, mame consonant, closing consonant. One syllable word, don't divide it. It is a closed syllable. So let's go over here to Yosef, number 2, and with number 2 we have a yod, which is a consonant beginning a syllable, and then a holem vav, which appears to be its vowel. Now you might say, well, Dr. Marshall, maybe this is the way to divide it. Maybe the yod's vowel is just a holem, and the vav is a consonant that starts another syllable. Maybe, but the question to ask then is there a vowel underneath that vav? The answer is no. That vav therefore cannot be a consonant, because in every Hebrew word, all the consonants have to have a vowel associated with them, unless it's the final consonant. And that's not what's happening here. So we're going to take this vav not as being a consonant vav, but rather as part of the mater, the historically long vowel called holem vav. So yod is the consonant, holem vav is the vowel, and it's open. Samik is the consonant with its vowel sere, and the pei closes it. Yo, safe. Yosef. Yefet is another word. The yod is the consonant. Segol is its vowel. Going to divide to the left of that so that pei can take its segol vowel under it and have the tav as its closing consonant. So ye, consonant vowel, is open. Pet, or fet, closed. Now over here with Moshe, because I have a single dot doing double duty, I'm going to go ahead and put my second dot here so that I can divide between these two. Because mem takes a holum, and then shin has to take the segol. Alright? So we're going to distinguish those dots there so that we can separate these syllables. Mo is open, consonant vowel, mem, holum. And then she, this is tricky. The segol looks like a vowel following the shin, and the hey looks like a consonant. But what we've learned is that segol hey together form a historically long vowel. And it's not one of the 5 common historically long vowels in our chart, but it does exist, and the hey is a mater here. So the shin is a consonant, segol hey together form a vowel, one consonant. This is an open syllable. Moshe. Moshe. Now I have Shaul. Shin has a kametz, a vowel under it. Aleph is a consonant that has its own vowel called shurik. So we're going to divide between these. Let the shin take its vowel, the aleph consonant takes its vowel, and the lamed happens to be closing. So we have another open followed by closed syllable structure. Same thing with Boaz. Bet has it's a consonant with a holum vowel. Ayin is a new syllable with a vowel. Pathak, and the zayin closes it. Consonant, vowel, consonant, that's closed. Bet holum is open. Boaz. As you can see, open syllables followed by closed syllables is a fairly common syllable structure for words in Hebrew. Next I have Ruth. How many vowels do I have here? Just one. Therefore I'm not going to split this up. No dividing line. There's only one syllable here. And is it open or closed? Resh, consonant, shurik vowel, and then I've got another consonant. So that is definitely a closed syllable. I have Peretz, Pei, Segol, consonant vowel, and then this vowel Segol gets resh for its consonant, has to be its own syllable because vowels can't stand by themselves, so resh has to go with the other syllable here. So this is open, this one is closed. Resh, Segol, Tzadi, consonant, vowel, consonant. Now over here with Ruach, I have what look like 2 vowels, a shurik and a pathak. But as we talked about, this pathak is a furtive pathak. And that means that it's not functioning as a real vowel, and it is not pronounced where a real vowel would normally go. A pathak under a consonant would follow the consonant, and you would pronounce it ruha if the pathak were a real vowel pathak. Ruha. This instead is that sneaky furtive pathak. Remember, furtive means sneaky, and it sneaks in between the shurik and the chet because it's anticipating as you begin to pronounce the guttural chet in the back of the throat, the a vowel sneaks in there in anticipation of pronouncing the guttural. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat ruach as a single syllable. One vowel is shurik. I won't divide it. I'm going to treat it as a monosyllable or a single syllable word that has a resh at the beginning and a chet at the end and the vowel in the middle. This is a closed syllable. 8, ayin, tzadi, ayin, seri, tzadi, consonant, vowel, consonant. That's closed, and I can't divide it because it's a one syllable word. And then finally I have koli. Kof takes the vowel holum vav and I'm going to divide right there. Li takes a vowel, kirik yod. Two vowels, holem vav, kirik yod. Each of them have consonants leading. Neither of them have any consonants at the end. They are both open consonants. Ko, li. Ko, li. All right, we'll just do a couple from 3 here and we'll call it a day. Now, over here on number 3, I have David. Remember, we've already done this. Dalet has a vowel, da, and we learned that the vav here is a consonant vav because kirik yod is its vowel. So we're going to divide right between these. Let me make that a little clearer here. Da and then v, d. So da, da, open. Vav is a consonant, kirik yod is a vowel, dalet's another consonant, that's closed. And then for vihoshaphat, you remember we had vav as a consonant and kirik yod as the vowel. So consonant vowel is open. Hey is a consonant, holem vav is the vowel, and the shin has to go with this, its own vowel. So ho is an open syllable. Consonant, holem vav vowel. Shin has a vowel under it. It's open. Pei has a vowel under it. And a tate at the end. So that is closed. So I have 3 open syllables followed by a closed one. 4 vowels. Kirik yod, holem vav, commence, commence. Vi, ho, sha, fat. All right. And we'll stop there. I hope that helps.